So far, the crew has cleared every hurdle naysayers have placed in their way. Columbus would be home to one of the 10 inaugural teams. Columbus has outperformed much larger cities. The true success indicator has been from the fans. Well, it's going out. And don't you know we're gonna scream it?
Hello and welcome to the club. I'm your host Mars, and this is the Upper 90 Club, a roundtable podcast where friends discuss the Columbus Crew. On this episode, we're going to do a double review of the away Miami game from last Wednesday and the home game against Kansas City from Saturday. We're going to read a little internet, and we're going to...
Mars.
Thanks, Hawes. We're going to do our predictions for the Porter Ball away game on Saturday, and we're also going to get a Crew 2 update in the mix there. With me in the club are Mort, Trey, and Hawes. Say hey, guys.
Hello.
Hey, Mars.
Ben is out. As far as we can tell, he's been up to normal activities such as paying $50 to go to a public pool for a party on Saturday night, contracting some kind of illness that has had him sick since then. Although that has not stopped him from playing soccer last night and running today as we're tracking him on our...
Even scored a goal. Yeah.
He did.
It was kind of a fluke, but...
Yeah, still a goal.
So, yeah, we saw that he also ran 5 miles today in our new Upper 90 Run Club on Strava. Details to come on that. But anyway, we miss you, Ben. Hope you feel... continue to feel well and well enough to join us next time.
Sleep well, sweet prince.
So yeah, kind of funky week here, guys. Normally we would kind of talk about the viewing arrangements from the last game, but that was kind of the second game of the week. The Miami game, I know we were in the middle of a heat wave, right? Although I think it might have even been cooler in Miami than in Columbus. Is that right?
Pretty close, probably.
Yeah, I think it was
Tracy
about the
should be
same
able to
temperature.
tell us, right?
A little stickier, probably.
I was off work for the federal holiday, Juneteenth, and went to the beach here on Lake Michigan for the first time of the year. And I stayed out too long. I flew too close and too long to the sun. I got completely sunburned in a very unfortunate way. I'll just leave it at that.
Was it a nude beach?
No, but I was
He's wearing a thong.
Yeah. It was
sleeping with your hand on your belly, or
I had to spend the next 36 hours in a bathtub full of aloe.
You're so sensitive.
But I don't know. I was pretty hazy and out of it while this Miami game was going on. So anyway, yeah, I mean that was. We'll jump into the game here, but I don't know. Did you guys just kind of do your own thing, or were there any watchings going on?
No, 100% doing our own thing. Just hanging out, watching it.
Watching on an iPad, surrounded by people not watching. Myrtle Beach.
Right. Because Hawes, you have been on a trip,
yes,
right? And you were not here last week.
Correct.
You were kind of a game time decision. Oh, and that's what led me to do the goal descriptions. Thank you for handing me the baton for the week. I had a lot of fun doing that.
Been on a family tragedy is what I usually call it.
Not too much tragedy, but it was enjoyable. Myrtle Beach, played some golf, played a little disc golf, some beach, some pool. It's a good time.
Nice. Okay, well, so let's kind of just jump in. I know we got a couple games to cover here. Let's start with Miami. Trey, tell us.
Hey, what happened?
Facts that could save your life.
All right, Wednesday, June 19th, 2024, Chase Stadium in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Reported attendance of 19,939. Humid, 84 degrees at kick. Hawes, give us the lineups.
We started with Matan, Cucho, and Rossi up top. Yeboah, Morris, Nagby, and Farsi across the middle. Amundsen, Zawadzki, Marrera in the back, and Schulte in goal. We had Jason Russell-Rowe on international duty. And as discussed in the previous episode, Miami was without Suarez, Messi, and Rojas, all on international duty.
They had a couple red cards too, right?
Correct.
From the Philly game.
Yep. All right, so 6 minute. Crew defense gives the ball away. Miami with the long range shot that just misses over the crossbar. Yeah, it kind of felt like that's the way the game was going to go. 7th minute, off the goal kick. Crew with a good build-up of play through the Miami defense, but Cucho is unable to place a shot on the Miami goal. 10th minute, Miami with the goal. Hawes, tell us about it.
It's a corner kick taken by Gressel and played into the box. Frey gets between 3 Crew players. He's in front of Rossi, between Zawa and Yeboah. It's his first game since July 15th, 2023, with terrible marking from the Crew. It's a header. Only second time this year we've conceded in the opening 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So, Schulte nearly got to it, right? I mean, he was going the right way. Gressel was looking real good.
It didn't seem like anybody stepped up and challenged him for it. I mean, he was a pink player among yellow shirts, and
there was no man marking.
Right, he just won the ball. I don't know. Poor.
I mean, kind of. I don't know exactly how tall he is, but he's certainly taller than 95% of our team. So we didn't spend any time talking about lineups, and we don't have to go too deep. But the back line was pretty different. You think this is just rotation for double game?
Yes, I also. Oh man, I don't remember. No, because it's probably just rotation because I think we had the players that were gone on international duty have been back for a solid week at this point. But
starting with Amundsen and Zawadzki is not been a part of our base lineup.
Right.
Yeah, we haven't seen that.
So,
okay.
All right, 14th minute. Miami defender Jordi Alba earns a yellow card on the challenge on Matan. 15th minute. Marrera wins the ball, places to Cucho at the top of the Miami 18. He dances around a few players and shoots a rocket over the Miami goal. 20th minute. Miami counters forward down the Crew left side. Gressel with the bending cross into Campana. He shoots, and Schulte with the big save, but gives up the rebound back to Campana, who lays it off to an onrushing Taylor, who whiffs on a shot. Same run of play. The Crew coughs it up in their own end. Hawes, tell us about it.
Sorry, I'm trying to pick up where you left off. Give me 1 second here. Because I had all of that written out. So.
I had meant to tell you about this before.
And Campana scores.
Right. On the recycle.
Yeah, this one we have to talk about.
Yeah, we will. So it started from where I think Marrera coughed it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, starting here. Marrera ends up losing it outside the box to Kramashi.
Pronunciations. Brought to you by the idiots of Upper 90 Club.
He crosses it in and Morris knocks it up in the air. Ball falls to Gressel in the box. He's able to just keep the ball in on the end line. Crosses it into Campana, waiting at the 6. Heads it down. Farsi swings his leg at it and just gets a touch that goes to Schulte, who again makes a solid save but can't hold on to it, and it falls back to Campana, who is unmarked, and he slides and knocks it into the net. 2-0 Miami. 4 goals and 1 assist in 4 matches versus the Crew for Campana.
Can't do this. You can't go away and do that. They were squeezed down in the corner and tried to play some small passes on just yards. You just need to get that ball out.
Yep.
It's as easy as that. Even over the end line, you just need to get rid of it. They have everybody up. Yep. Now, this is what I would say. This is what costs us the game. You can't be down 2-0 against a good team.
Not so fast.
Yeah.
2 minutes later, 24th minute, Marrera plays the long ball up to Cucho, who outruns the Miami defender and gets a shot off that is saved by the Miami keeper. So we came back a little bit. 29th minute, Yaw with the bending cross into Cucho, who heads it powerfully but over the goal. 31st, Crew with the build-up and Yaw again with the cross on Cucho, who can't get his foot on the ball. And then finally in the 39th minute, Crew with the great build-up. Haas, tell us about it.
Crew have possession in the offensive half for a couple minutes, working the ball around the box, probing. Eventually, the ball goes out wide, left to Aidan Morris, who spots Cucho making a run between two defenders. The ball takes one hop. Cucho sticks his right leg out and gets a touch, and the ball goes in near post. 70th game in all competitions with the Crew for Cucho, and 41st goal.
Yep.
Nice.
I talked over you. You said 41st?
Correct.
So
all
I think
competitions.
Mort had a bigger point there before we kind of wrapped up the first half. You can't go on the road, make poor defensive decisions, and then not capitalize on the offensive end, which was a wrap up of this
that's
whole
the
first
summary.
half. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of, second half was littered with.
Well, I'm going to keep the
missed
second
chances
half
here.
really short. So,
Go for it.
all right. So subs, 59th minute, Camacho in for Nagby. 60th minute, Ramirez in for Matan. 72nd, Arfston in for Farsi. 73rd, Chaberco in for Amundsen. 79th, Hinestroza in for Yeboah. Nothing really happened in the second half. We lost 2-1. Miami remains in first place in the Eastern Conference with the sizable advantage in games played.
Nothing really happened. They played very smart. They had the low block, and you know what? You know who would have been good to have on our game, on our team in this game? He was playing on the other team, Gressel. I think that ball from Aidan into Cucho is the only good final ball we had probably all game. I think Cucho had 15 crosses that were just over the end line or over somebody, or it was just sloppy.
And some of the good shots we had were blocked before they got to the keeper.
Yeah,
so we didn't even have a
they
chance
played smart
to save them. I have a couple comments that aren't even necessarily about the game. The audio was the worst thing I've ever heard during that game, and I completely forgot about it until I rewatched most of it yesterday. And then they talk about I remember this being talked about previously. Inter Miami coming out noticeably late at halftime, on purpose. Mm-hmm. And they talk about it they're just known to do that. Why is that allowed?
It's a mental advantage thing, and they just
but what are you going to
do to them? What are you
start the game without them?
that will fix it.
They weren't late starting the season. They started before everyone else.
Yeah, true.
They've been ahead of
No,
schedule.
I would say from a stats standpoint, it was, and if you look at the stats for this game, pretty much except for shots on target and big chances created, it looks like it was an absolute domination from start to finish by Columbus Crew. 666 passes. All right.
Hail Satan.
Yeah. No.
I'm sorry, Satan.
Yeah, Satan. Yeah. Every stat pretty much was just dominated, but a lot of it we had dominance up to about the top of their box, and then we couldn't really do anything from it. So it's one of those games it's going to be tough. You can only get so many goals, and then you let up two quick ones in the start, and you have a big hole. And we should have tied it. Kucha blew a huge chance in the second half. You didn't mention. I think it was a 1-on-1, right?
Right.
That yeah. So should have tied it up, at least.
It's tough to get a loss against. I don't know. My prediction on this team. I think they're a bunch of hacks. Although they are at the top of the table. Although they have played more games all season than the rest. It's not apples to apples, but they seem to be able to get results. I think they've got a good coach. Obviously, Messi is good.
Yeah, but here people said "Hey, they have pretty much the same team last year, and they was last." And I was like, "Well, they have a couple of young guys that only got better. They have Busquets coming in and leading the team. The leadership in this team is totally different. They have Alba playing. I mean, like
Right.
and Campania would start. They said it about 15 times, by the way, during the broadcast, that Campania would start most teams in MLS, and that's true. He's a good forward. By the way,
he's
the
against
Spanish
us.
commentary did not have any sound, and they made more
No
sense.
sound
to
at
me.
all, or no sound issues.
Well, no sound issues, but they made more sense to me, even though I don't speak Spanish. So there's that.
Okay. All right. I think we could talk a little bit more about Miami, but I think we should keep rolling. Let's keep rolling so that we can get through the overview of the KC game.
Yep.
And then we can circle back during our thoughts.
Hey, what happened?
All right. Saturday, June 22nd, 2024 at lower.com in front of a reported 20,818. Hot and sticky, 90 degrees at kick. Haas, run through those lineups.
Speaking of lineups, were you guys there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So Trey and I was there,
Mhm.
and it was nice to see people. I have to be reacquainted after 49 days away from lower.com. 49
that
in the
last
middle
one
of the
was-
season. I think our off season was shorter than that.
Yeah, but we know what happened, right? There was
Yeah.
rescheduling.
But it's insane.
But the last game was Cincy, right?
Yeah.
And
Correct.
that was a loss. And then I think I heard something like we had a bunch of ties before that. Remember, we were setting draw records
Right.
between CONCACAF and league play. I think we got to 6 or maybe even 7 draws in a row. Our last win was Red Bull.
March 16th
Yeah.
in league play.
Anyway,
So we started with Rossi, Cucho, Ramirez up top, Arfston, Morris, Nagby, Farsi across the middle, Chaberco, Camacho, Morera in the back,
oh yeah.
Schulte in goal. Russell Rowe is still with Canada, and the Crew going into this one had not beaten Kansas City since 2015.
Wow.
Say that again.
We had not beaten Kansas City since 2015. It's a little swayed because they're in the Western
Western,
Conference,
yeah.
so we don't see them necessarily
Still.
every year, but still. Yeah.
All right. 6th minute. Sporting with the early opportunity, but the shot is wide right of Schulte's net. That was probably about it for him. All right. 8th minute. Lower.com serenades Aidan Morris with the chant. He's here. He's there. He's every fucking where. Aidan Morris. Which was fantastic. The entire stadium, you just heard it just all. I'm not sure if it came through on how well on the broadcast.
Came through well.
But okay. I mean, it was awesome. So moving forward, 13th minute, Crew with the beautiful build-up from Rossi out to Farsi on the right. He plays it central to Ramirez, who takes 2 touches and crosses it to Cucho. He gets a good header, but it's wide right.
Speaking about good header, Ramirez was looking real good.
They did the switch up with the hair color there.
I saw, because I'm on X now, guys, I saw the, what do they call it? Like the walk-ins?
Yeah.
There's a term for it. I don't know what it is. Anyway, that's like, he's my new spirit animal, man.
Chrome
He's
Dome.
looking real good. If I show up next week with like a really fancy blouse on and bleached hair, you'll know why.
I will love that. Just frosted tips, though.
And one comment on the chant, I meant to say it and I didn't get it out quick enough. It was coming through clear enough to the point where someone that was out on the patio with me where I was watching, they were like, "Oh, that's that chant from that one show."
From Ted Lasso.
Yes.
It's close. Yes.
So it came through. Sorry.
Which we can't. I did look this up today. I think that is the only place that it was before using it for Aidan Morris. Mort's usually a little bit better with these things, but we couldn't find it anywhere else. So it's cool. It's fun, but never more. 15-minute.
Never say
Arfston
never.
with the shimmies and loses the Sporting defender, but his shot/cross is off target. In fact, it went out for a throw.
It was bad.
It was.
The step overs were good. Good position. It was bad.
28th minute, Camacho with the ball forward to Arfston, who's who step overs and then gets a good cross into Diego, who shoots it high. 32nd again. Crew dangerous. Haas, tell us about it.
Crew worked the ball from the right side of the field along the back line off to the left side to Arfston, where he works a give and go along the left side with Rossi. And Arfston is off to the races with a great ball from Rossi. Arfston takes a few big touches into the box towards the end line and drops a pass back towards the penalty spot where Cucho has made a delayed run. Cucho fakes a shot with his right, loses 2 Kansas City defenders, cuts to his left, shoots low to the right side netting. 3 goals in 3 games for Cucho, and they go right into the water break.
He was just like, he just dropped those guys. I want to keep things moving, but I will just comment that I can't believe that you used a phrase like "off to the races" without the old timey.
Did anybody else hear that in their head going off to
the and they're off to the races.
Arfston with the step over.
Total missed opportunity.
Yeah, like I mean, you're holding
especially
yourself
after
back.
listening last week and Fallujah or not Fallujah, the other one.
Van Hammersley.
Yes, Van Hammersley. Thank you.
Yeah. Billiards table. Go ahead, Trey.
All right. 45th minute. Diego into Cucho, who loops it into the sporting box. It is headed out to Aidan Morris, who collects the ball, takes it on the half volley, which is saved by this, deflected out of bounds by the sporting keeper. 46th minute. Ball comes into Aidan off the corner. He plays it into Cucho in the box. He turns to his left and shoots. Sporting keeper with the save, and the ball goes out for a corner. Off the ensuing corner, the magic happens. Haas, tell us about it.
With their 3rd corner in a row, Rossi plays it short to Morris. He's pressured and drops it back to Rossi. He plays a pass back to Nagby near the top right side of the box. He lays a pass off back to Morris on the right outside of the box. He plays across into the box near the penalty spot where Cucho beats his man to the ball and shoots, and it deflects off a Kansas City defender to the left past the keeper and into the net. They were talking on the broadcast about it being an own goal, but it was in the end ruled as a goal for Cucho and an assist.
Because it just hit him,
from
right?
Morris.
Yeah, it's
like,
usually
headed at goal.
If it's headed into the goal and it deflects off a defender, then it's a goal for the shooter.
Yeah. And he wasn't playing the ball, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just hit off of
Theoretically,
him.
yeah, it could be off frame, but if the player plays the ball.
Okay, so on to the second
half. We
half.
won't belabor it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
50th minute. Crew with the beautiful build-up from the back. Schulte out to Ramirez. Ramirez to Cucho Central, who one-times it with the curler forward to Farsi, who drives it forward and crosses it into the box. The ball is left from Cucho to Ramirez, who shoots it nearly wide of the sporting goal. 55th minute. Moreira wins a header towards Christian. Christian plays a looping ball around his body over the defender and into the path of the striding Cucho. Takes a big touch and tries to chip it over the keeper, but is denied. Unfortunately, he probably would have been offside if it would have stood. Had some subs. 60th, Zawadzki in for Morris. We're going to talk about it a little bit later, but him coming off the field in the 60th was class. So, 66th minute. Haas, tell us about it.
Schulte gives it to Zawadzki just outside of the Crew's box. He finds Moreira streaking down the middle of the field. Moreira takes 2 big touches with tons of space in front of him. Passes with his 3rd touch to Ramirez, who has found his way in behind the Kansas City defensive back line. Ramirez dribbles twice as he waltzes into the box, wide open. He shoots.
Scores!
Pulskamp makes the save. But the ball pops right back to Ramirez. He lets it bounce twice and shoots it on the volley of the second bounce with his left into an open net from close range. 3-0 Crew. Not to discredit the Crew's work on this one, but Kansas City, their defense was absolute dog shit.
Rash.
Across the board.
All right, 5 minutes later in the 71st, we get a free kick. Haas, tell us about it.
So it's a free kick that Farsi earns just outside the box. I think it's about 10 yards outside of the box, give or take, maybe a little shorter. Cucho takes it with his right. It's around the 5-man Kansas City wall, takes one skip, and it's into the side netting. Cucho hat trick.
That's how the race was run.
All right. So from here on out, mostly it was subs. Columbus continued to possess the ball. 72nd, Hennis throws it in for Cucho. Derek Jones in for Nagby. Alexander Mayton in for Rossi. And in the 86th, we had Taha Habroon in for Ramirez. So it's good to see the 18-year-old get time. Game ends 4-0. Aidan with the hero send-off in his last game at LDC with the Columbus Crew. Tears in his eyes as he subbed off for the last time. Kissing the badge. Crew with 70% possession in this game. Sporting with a massive 3 total shots and 0 on goal.
0 chances. Yeah.
Columbus
667 passes.
Columbus improves to 8-3-6 and currently sits in 5th in the East.
Yeah.
I was glad to hear that Taha was tried as an adult. But I fucked up the joke. I was going to say, what did you say? You said you got. Oh, I was going to say, I was glad he got time, right? Because he was tried as an adult. I fucked it up. Oh man,
nice.
Damn it!
This is better. Leave it.
No, don't leave it.
I'll leave it.
Don't leave it. Okay.
You were talking about the sending off. You want to jump into that?
Let's do it after the break. Let's
okay.
break here and get a word from our sponsors. I can just casually say we'll be right trap without having to worry about Ben stepping on it. We'll be right trap.
This episode of the Upper 90 Club is brought to you, as always, by Supporter Supply Company. Hi, friends, this is your good pal Morgan Hughes, here to talk to you about a serious issue facing 96% of all crew supporters in Columbus. Why, not enough free shipping, of course. For a limited time now, through the eventual heat death of the universe, Upper 90 Club listeners can use the promo code Upper90Boys. That's boys with a Z on the end of it, at checkout for free delivery on absolutely any order over $10. But Morgan, what if I order $10 worth of stickers, or those goddamned buttons, or some other combination of small items that make you want to kill yourself? Will the free shipping still apply then, even as you curse our family, while you package up our little tiny annoying ass order for us? Of course it will. That's just how much we here at Supporter Supply value our friends at the Upper 90 Club. So head on over to supportersupply.co and use the promo code Upper90Boys. That's boys with a Z at checkout for free shipping on all your orders over $10. And don't forget to tell them that your friends at the Upper 90 Club sent ya.
All right, we're back. So first thing, I think let's jump back to the Miami game. I kind of started to talk about this before. I haven't given these guys a lot of credit just because it seems like things are stacked in their favor. And so it's hard for me to take that seriously. But well, I mean, we got outplayed on Wednesday. or the defending champions. Yep. So I don't know. I guess I kind of wanted to get your take on Miami in general. Is this a team that we need to be afraid of? Did they have a good game against us? What's your perception of Miami after facing them for the first of 2 regular season matches this season?
I think so. My takeaway, especially from this game, is no Suarez, no Messi, and they're still able to be this dangerous. Their young players are coming up. They're definitely a threat, a big time threat. I mean, they're going to be contending at the end, and it's just going to have to be another step that we have to make it through. Hopefully we can play them at home. I think that'll make a big swing.
Yeah, it's clearly a very well-coached team now. They came out, they like to play their game, but they recognize the strength we have, who they have, maybe who's missing a little bit, even though I don't think that, well, obviously Messi makes a huge difference, but they have Busquets as a strengthened team. but they're well coached. They came up with a strategy. The second they got that second goal, they kind of like, okay, we just gonna let him come, let him pass. We're not going to stress it, and we're going to just shut them down when they come down to our box. And I would say though that was a combination of them being disciplined and us being very poor in some aspect of the game, where there was open guys in the box and we overshot the cross. I would have loved to have
started
Gressel.
a new back line too, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it was like we talked about it. I don't know that Miami could have planned for that. And it was clear that they came out with a strike fast and hot strategy, but because it paid off fast.
Snatch and grab at home. I mean, that's what we said, right?
Yeah, we spent our time trying to claw our way back. And I think it was you, Mort, that said statistically we won the game. Other than
I don't go that far.
the one really important statistic of goals scored, but
we had also some players that underperformed dramatically. Matan was awful. I never seen him not being able to control the ball, even though we've seen some games from him lately. So I don't know if he feels the pressure a little bit. Have we been bringing in some people? He doesn't have a new contract. I don't know what it is, but the last couple of games, except for coming in against Kansas City when they're already beaten, he has not looked very strong. Yeboah had a pretty weak game as well. And even Nagby was not his best again, but it was like our outside. I think that was a part of the strategy. They took out Yeboah, and Farsi were known factors in this game as well. So,
and because we were scored on... Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, no. I think they just did a good job on them, too.
And because we were scored on early, Nagby and Morris were pushing up the field way further, which then would just leave the field open for Miami to waltz right into our defensive half. That was Nagby's 400th MLS match on Wednesday, which puts him at 10th in MLS history.
Wow.
That was also Miami. That was match day 21 on Wednesday. It was their 20th match played. They did not play this weekend, so now after this weekend's results, they are not the only team at 20 games played.
Okay, so they finally,
there
since
are
week one,
multiple
where they played Salt Lake or
where they stole our match from us.
Yeah,
the league did, not Miami.
Correct. Yeah. Okay.
The nice thing is most of the teams with 20 games played are ahead of us in the table.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see one team that has as few games as we do, who's climbing in New England. And they're probably behind too because their game got rescheduled against us. Okay, let's talk about Aidan Morris. I tried to mention earlier, chopping onions, a lot of raw onions.
I would say it was a hot game, but I think it was kind of the perfect game to do this because people were psyched about the game because we haven't had one in a while. They had like the original black and gold, of course, which he is on the T-shirts that they handed out to everybody in XL. And the funny thing is they kept like popping up on the screen, put your T-shirts on, and tried to guilt people that was not wearing it on, like put them on the big screen and put on the yellow T-shirts. But it made a really nice backdrop though. So the stadium was very, very yellow. So like the atmosphere was great, the result was great, the performance was good. We had Nagby also with his getting his shirt and that before the game. So I mean it was the perfect setting
for
off
his
for
400th
Morris.
game. Yeah.
Well, that would have been 401 for Nagby, but
yeah, but you do what you can. So then,
they did something before the game for Nagby as well, I think.
Yeah, they did it before the game for Nagby, and then they did it after.
After for Morris.
So then Morris got the 8-minute chant salute,
Yeah.
And then he was subbed off for
Zawadski.
And I don't think that
which
was by accident either, right?
Right.
most
There was a
likely
lot of
person to replace
symbolism
him.
there. Right. The old man's coming off the field at the ripe old age of 22 to pass the torch to the
23-year-old.
20-year-old.
No, I think he's older.
I think he's older.
Is Zawadski older?
Is he older?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of that chant throughout the game too.
And there was a
only the
nice
opening.
thank you, Aidan chant right after he was subbed off that you could hear on TV.
Yeah, he came out. They started the chant a little later too, and he came out and did like almost like a baseball thing. Came up. If he had a hat, he would have the tip of the hat.
Yeah.
But so it was great.
So the question I have for you guys, and Ben and I were talking about this the other day. In the history of crew players that have left or whatever you say, not returned, is this the closest thing to like McBride leaving? That's the only thing that we could compare it to, where it's like, I'm not mad, I'm happy, he's moving forward, he's moving up. I couldn't think of any other player that had the same, his contract wasn't expiring, he wasn't leaving on bad terms, he's won 2 championships, we sold him for a lot of money. McBride without the championships.
I think that's a great point. I think that comes to mind. I mean, we had a couple of strikers, but nobody that was so, a part of the DNA of the club, right?
Right.
And such a key figure of the team and going off, that wasn't somebody stepping down, right? We've had all these leaders, but they were retiring pretty much. Yeah, all of those guys.
Stiletto and Frankie and
So
Duncan,
this is
it's
a cool thing, and I love the fact that he said he would love to come back and play here again.
Sure, I want him to, but I want him to go over and
have a long, successful career.
Yeah, go play 10 years over there.
What it reminds me of a little bit, I mean, to some extent, obviously not him leaving and going to, trying to advance and go to Europe and see bigger and better things. It felt like that could have happened with Trapp at one point, and he felt like a similar position, similar. He was a granted, Morris isn't a Columbus person; he's just been here a long time. But with Trapp being a Columbus person, had he actually gone elsewhere and not just gone to another team in MLS with the contract expiring?
And Trapp's thing was kind of like, wasn't that kind of intertwined with the team sale and everything else? Him and Miram,
correct.
I felt like kind of saw the writing on the wall and took some. This is not a negative comment.
I think Josh Williams was the same way too. I mean, because he left to go to Toronto or New York, whichever one it was at the time.
Yeah,
but I mean, that's kind of what I was alluding to. Is I mean, this is like. The only person I could hearken this back to is McBride.
Yeah.
Like where it's like, it feels like, he's so ingrained with the club, like Matt was saying. And it just is, it's all like, I'm happy. Like I'm not, it just, it
I think
sucks
also
he's leaving,
the fact, I think it's powerful because he's a product of kind of like not the whole like we didn't see him on that Crew 2 team because he was already on the first team when the MLS Next Pro thing was launched, but like you kind of have this growth trajectory and then the fact that he kind of stepped in 2020, won the cup with the team, picked up the mantle, right? And became like, not necessarily a star player, but a key part of the fabric of what we've seen across a couple coaches in his time. But the fact also that he is young, chronologically, but also like he hasn't really been with the team for that long, right? Like 4 or 5, like
he came through the academy
but he came through the academy
Crew
but
2.
playing for the first team, it's like it feels like we're
5 years.
We're casting him beyond our club here, and you can't help but wish him the best. You know.
Yeah, and you know what?
I hope.
Yeah, go ahead.
I hope he
appreciate
gets
what he said.
time with the Olympic team. It sounds like that might be a little weird with his timing of moving on to a new club. We'll see how that plays out, but I hope to see him and Schulte get time.
Yeah,
Well, we kind of thought we hoped that he would kind of, be the protege that stays for Nagby.
no,
Right.
you know what? I always bothered me with Trapp. That Trapp had a window where he could probably take in the next step, challenge himself, and taking the next step. Instead, he was like, you know what? I'm a good MLS player. I'm just gonna kind of stay with it, and that's why I'm so excited about him taking this opportunity to go over, pushing himself further. He could go, he could cruise now. He can probably. And the other thing is, what's the fallback here? The second he goes over and plays there or whatever else, even if it doesn't work out, if he's coming back, he's probably coming back as a DP or
Yeah.
close to DP play. So he knows going to Europe and then coming back again, the pay is going to be improved. Because he probably getting the pay he should deserve right now and demand now in MLS when he goes to the championship. It's not that much. It's more than he makes now, but probably not more than a player like he should earn in MLS. But coming back again, I mean, it's just so much upside. So he has to go and do it. By the way,
Yeah.
he's also the most patient guy. He stuck around after the game. Finn got his jersey signed, and then he called over Nagby too. By the way, he's like, Nagby, you got to come over here. He went around, and I think Trey, you mentioned it too, that he came out again after like all the pressers in the locker room, whatever else, and came back again after that, and it was like hundreds that were just wanting to get his signature, and he was there for all of them.
Man.
Unfortunately, he's not on the schedule for the Meet the Team event tomorrow night since we're recording on Tuesday night. Who knows? If he's still around, he could make a surprise visit.
That'd be nice.
But like you were saying, he spent all that time after the match Saturday. Probably unlikely.
Class. Well, wish him the best. Let's jump now to I don't know. I think we should start with reading the internet. So we saw somehow, no conspiracy theories here. Cucho becomes the first Crew 96 player of the season to be named MLS Player of the Match Day. Of course, that's for Match Day 22, not Match Day 21. Was it? I don't know.
17.
That was Wednesday.
It was our
Very
17th
confusing.
game. The guy put up his third hat trick for the team. We may talk a little bit about that later. That third goal, Mort, was helpful for you in our predictions table, and I don't know. You guys saw that video on from the stands. Beautiful angle of his set piece, but I don't know. This guy's out of control. Even in the Miami game that we lost, every highlight, he was on the end of it. And with, as great as Morris has been, and we're talking about him,
Yeah, the star
we
of
got
the
to talk
show.
about Cucho too. On Apple, he takes top billing over Messi, doesn't he? He's like, I don't know if that's because I'm like a Crew fan or not, but do you think they're programming that or
Your algorithm with Apple.
They have a little
Yeah, I'm
show
not sure.
about what he buys at Kroger or something.
Yeah, I have not seen that. But like whenever you fire up a game, Cucho's like the first player that's on like the little highlight. Anyway.
I mean, he's by far the biggest profile we have
Yeah.
in this team. And yeah, he is definitely firing now. And I still want him to get the chant going. I hear them trying to sing Cucho's on fire. Your defense is terrified. And it doesn't really take but I wanted to take one of these days because I think it's a good chant.
I heard
Because
it
you used to
during
dance to it at clubs.
Yeah, I heard it during the cooling break. Is that right?
Yeah, I think that's.
I hear it over the
Yeah.
PA system, yeah,
Yeah.
but not a chant.
Yeah, they
No.
were playing the music. They were playing the music, actually the song itself too, over the water break. But yeah, they need to get that going.
Then Morris also was on the bench of the match day.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think
good.
that was like an honorable mention. Put that because
Well, he had the the assist was on Wednesday.
yeah.
But yeah, okay, all right. And then speaking of the hat trick, we do.
No, the assist was
Have-
Saturday.
Yeah, somebody threw a hat. Somebody behind me threw a hat on the field when he scored the hat trick. By the way,
Did they
Hockey
get kicked
style?
out?
no, just it
security
was like a
didn't kick
hat
him out?
flowing down there, and then it was like people
Hold
like,
on. Hold on a second. Morris
That's a
did
hockey
not have an assist in Miami.
No, Arston had the assist in Miami.
He did have an assist in Miami also.
All right.
Did he?
Okay. All right. Clear
did.
my name. Clear my name. Let's go to the Cirque stat.
This is Steve Cirque, and this is a Cirque stat.
All right. Cirque says it's taken decades, but Stern John can finally see someone gaining ground off in the distance in his rearview mirror. Like T1000. I added that. Stern had 5 regular season hat tricks plus 1 in the postseason. Hashtag Crew96. That's related to the fact that Cucho got his third hat trick. He had 2 last season in, at Montreal on September 2nd and against Chicago at home.
question
on
about
September
the
20th.
goals back then. Did they count like the top score? Did they count like the PK hockey style PK shootout goals at the end of the games as a stat? I wonder. Anyways,
Valid
Only one
question.
man can know.
Cirque.
Which brings me to my next organic plug of the show here, which is that we're going to be starting a Upper 90 book club.
Yes. For
Stay tuned.
podcasters that know how to read good.
I don't
Yes.
read good.
Well,
You know-
Ben,
you know
I
read.
heard. Okay, so I'm just going to give the whole farm away here. We want to do a book club. I think we want to start with maybe Cirque's most recent book, Volume 2, which I
Yeah,
have
haven't read
read, but I
Volume
would
2.
reread.
Yeah.
Ben, I'm just going to put it out in the world here because I think there's another book written about this, of putting things out in the world. Ben wants to do the audio book for Cirque's book. So if starting a book club and starting that club with this book gets him that, maybe that would make him feel better.
Hit him
enough
up,
to spend
Cirque.
a couple hours with us. Okay. All
He
right,
knows how to
let's-
read. I promise.
Barely.
I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. He does not know how to speak. Let's go to the thoughts and players.
Thoughts and players.
Okay, first, let's thoughts and prayers are going out to Evan Bush.
Oh yeah, man, that sucks.
Why? What happened?
He broke another bone in his recovering arm while training to return to the first team in 10 weeks since his surgery, that was against RSL, right?
So
correct.
how did this happen? He's
He put a big post on Instagram, Evan did, and basically he's been pushing himself, working hard, trying to get back as quick as possible since the injury. 10 weeks removed from the surgery, he's almost back to the first team, and in practice and training, broke another bone in the same arm.
sucks. The little
Had
we've
surgery
seen him-
already.
The little we've seen him lately, he's been solid.
30 minutes against RSL.
The little
Clean
we've seen him.
sheet.
Well, and I think we needed him with
Big time.
Oh, we
Olympic
do.
call-ups, international duty with Schulte.
Oh, we need him.
and
He threw me off with the tense. Yeah, we will need him, and we will not have him.
and Hagen.
Don't say it like that. I know that he gave that goal to
Yeah.
Messi, but like he did really well against RSL too.
Yeah. he
Oh
did.
no, I'm just saying those two are getting called up to their international teams. So we don't have a third goalie outside of
We'll see.
Bush.
We'll see. Not after that goal he gave to Messi.
Yeah, but he's not going to go. I don't know where he will go right now, though. I don't think
have
it's
we
going to
received
be.
a clarification on Hagen?
Pronunciations.
No, yeah, we got to hit that one. I said Hagen like last
Because
week.
Haagen-Dazs.
He's definitely
and
not
then we
from
did
Europe.
Skin box. Yeah, we did the whole thing. Yeah, it's just Hagen. It's just plain old
ice
Hagen.
cream.
No.
baby.
I call him Hagen because I still believe that he is originally Norwegian.
Oh yeah,
that's
right.
racism
You're
or
gonna
something.
claim it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of all the players I'm going to claim, I mean, no shade, but
He's from
That would be-
He's
Guatemala.
from Central America.
Yeah.
Hey,
I know,
Norwegians
but he has
famously went to Guatemala.
Yeah,
did not
Eloy
conquer.
Room. Hit me again with that pronunciation. Hold on. Yeah, he was.
Fair enough.
Where was he from?
Curacao.
Curacao. No, he's
But
Dutch.
he was like,
Yeah.
he was. Yeah.
He's not good enough to play for the Dutch, so he plays for Curacao.
Oh, come on. Okay. This is not
It's
a
like a
hater
Jamaica
podcast.
works.
That's not a hot take. I mean,
Here's a hot take and
Dutch
a
are good.
pronunciation take. What do you guys think about Farfston this week?
Farston was brilliant. Good week for him. In this game against Kansas City, he was next to Cucho, probably the best player. I mean,
Hot,
he
hot,
creates.
hot.
Yeah, hot. He puts, even when he came in against Miami, he added some energy and he was playing on the right side. And then this game, he's playing on the left side and he can step over both ways. So he doesn't care. But against Kansas City, he was phenomenal. He looks like he's in really good shape now. He looks like it looks like he gained some speed for some whatever reason. Because he looks
he
much
pulled
more
his socks
dangerous
above
now.
his knees. Makes him look
There
faster.
we go.
Yep.
Oh, that's probably what it is. But I mean, that's one thing is if he plays like he plays in this game, Boa won't get much time. And that's incredible to say after the season he had last year, right?
We need to see some consistency from it, though, because he's had some moments where he hasn't looked so great as well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's clearly. And he has great hair. He was right in front of me there in the first half, and all of me and my bald body next to me, we kept talking about how fantastic hair he has.
It's good. It's good on the top third of his head, and then it goes away quickly.
What does that even mean?
He's got like an undercut. I just mean,
It's
like a
very
cloth?
long up top, and it
it's-
looks good. It's
so
what the kids
dense.
wear these days. Yeah.
Let's just say,
I'm jealous.
yeah. I mean, I couldn't pull it off.
No, actually,
You're the
this
closest one
pod,
on this
it's the one
podcast
that
to
can
it.
pull it off would be you.
Before I got my haircut today, I was maybe
Poof.
very close second to Mark.
Yeah. Haas stopped by Longview Barbershop today, and he's looking real sharp.
Yeah.
Shout out Mitch.
We'll take a screenshot of Haas's fade here. He looks really, really good.
Beard trim.
And I don't say anything nice about Haas. So,
I'm
All
be
right.
interested. They did present or put on camera and roll him out a little bit. The new guy from St. Louis, the AZ or whatever he goes by. So he was at the game,
Q.
and he must have enjoyed the fact that we beat Kansas City, of course. So it'll be interesting how if we're going to see him and where he's going to play. We have quite a few midfielders coming in now. So and one
He'll be
going
at
out.
the team signing, which when people are listening to this, that might have already happened, but there will be a second one.
yeah. Okay. All right. Let's break here. When we come back, we'll get the Crew 2 update from President Bird. Thank you. And then we'll get through our predictions. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, Carlos here. Thanks for having me again. I'm going to do a very quick talk about how the Crew 2 did this past week. They tied with the Chicago Fire 2, 1-1 at home at Historic Crew Stadium, a game that luckily for me was moved from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m., which is great. Also, you could see it was so hot that I don't know if they could have had the game at 1 p.m. I think that's why they moved it. It made sense. It was a good game. It was two good teams playing against each other. Unfortunately, the Crew 2 would end up losing the extra point at PKs like MLS Next Pro does. But I think it was a pretty solid game for the squad. They had 63% ball possession. They let in a goal on a bad giveaway from Stas Lapkes, but Stas would later redeem himself with some good saves and even a save during the PK shootout. We had 88% accurate passes, and we had more shots on targets as well. I think that the person that I would like to really highlight for this game, I'm always talking about guys like Presses and Adams and how well they're doing, but one guy who's been shining really brightly lately, and I'm very excited about because I can see a role for him in the first team as he continues to develop, and he's an older player. He's already got the physique to play with big guys. Is Jaden Da, the most recent first-round pick for us in the Super Draft from Duquesne. He's playing really well. He was the best player on the field. Maybe the Chicago goalkeeper had some great saves, and he got the foot mob man of the match. But I think that Jaden Dow was the best field player and possibly the best player overall. He's showing that he's really good at using his body and his large frame. He's 6'4", to protect the ball. He beat a lot of defenders that way during the game. He scored our goal at the 89th minute to get us to a tie. And he's going to continue to develop, and I'm going to continue to watch him very closely because he, can be a big guy who still is, fairly quick and has good moves in small spaces that could be very beneficial for the first team. So yeah, keep an eye out for Jaden Da and for the other guys like Stas Lapkes and Cole Moroka and Prestes and Jace Adams as well. But Da is the highlight of the week for me. And yeah, thanks for having me. Great win by the first team. Very happy about that. And yeah, go Crew.
All right, we're back. Thanks, Bird.
Kaka.
Yeah, that was a
it was something.
Tough beat.
Tough beat. Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, we won't dwell on this. We are going to do our predictions, but before that, I think it's worth talking about what's going on in the tables.
Tables. Just tables. 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 I can't know how to hear any more about tables.
Finally, as discussed previously in the podcast, there is more than one team with 20 games played. So we got Miami in first place, 20 games played, 41 points. Cincinnati, second place, 19 games played, 39 points. New York Red Bulls, 20 games played, 34 points. Charlotte, 20 games played, 32 points. Then we got the Crew in fifth, 17 games played, 30 points. NYCFC in sixth, Nashville in seventh, Toronto in eighth, Atlanta in ninth. That's the playoff picture. Then this weekend we're going up against New England Revolution, who are in 12th, 17 games played, 19 points, and they have
Playing
won
out of their
last four.
If they won their games in hand, they'd have 28 points and they'd be in seventh place.
Seventh.
Yeah, I mean they will be they can have a decent chance to be in the tail end of the playoff picture there for sure.
Which is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
But I will say this about the East though. Every team in the East right now, even Chicago Fire, has a chance. That's how even it is. It's very top heavy and then it drops off. But
before
New England is at what Porter was as close to getting fired as the Crew were to being the Austin Crew.
Before their 4 wins in a row, they lost 7 in a row. So,
man.
Oh, to be a Revolution fan.
Yeah, they added some people. They got some people back from injury. He was talking about how getting their the new goalie, I believe, is a new goalie that has been a big impact just on the defense and structure of the defense, I guess. And he's been kind of fun in the interviews because he said people are saying, "Hey, you guys haven't been performing well." It's like, yeah, we didn't deserve to be talked about well. We were god awful. It's very direct in how we've been responding to it. Now this is going to be a tough team. Right,
Their last win was a 2-1 road win at Cincinnati.
Yeah, they took a few away from Cincy. That's a good thing.
Cincinnati, by the way, are much better away than they are home. Their home record is not that great.
Too much tickling going on in that stadium.
Yes.
Man, you took that joke away from me. You took that joke away from me. I think I've said this before when you were talking about Porter doing the pressers. It reminded me, because also earlier in this show we said that Miami is well coached. I will never forget last season when they were interviewing Phil Neville for Miami. And he said something like, well, last week I said that things could not get worse, but here we are. Something like that. Somehow I still have a job and I'm still having this conversation with you and we're still losing.
Well, his team is doing, at least he's doing a decent job now in Portland. So
no, and he's dressing well.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
You gotta dress for the job you want, I guess. So he's got the vest, because he wants to be in Portland. Okay, so this will be a good game. The Porter reunion, I was a little worried that it wasn't going to happen when we heard that he was dodging ownership 4 or 5 weeks ago, but they've put it back together, and we're going to have a chance to go and play against the old skipper there in Foxborough. So we will do our predictions for that, but we also have to review the predictions from last week. So let's do that now.
I can't know how to hear any more about tables.
So in the away game against Miami, I believe everybody had us win, or yes, we did. Everybody had us win, and everybody was wrong. So nobody got any points. Nobody had us getting one goal, so nobody even get 1 point from that. In the game against Kansas City at home, everybody believed we'll get a win. So everybody got 1 point for that. Only one person got the right score. That's yours truly. So I got 3 points in that game. So that takes us to the standing. So in the standing, like I mentioned now, I got 3 points. That take me to a total of 15 points. I have a 3-point lead over Trey and Ben with 12 points. Morris has 10 points, and Haas has 12 points.
Had me worried there.
Hey, so how many points did I have last season at the end?
I really do.
We scored it a little differently.
Yeah, we did.
And I didn't tell you I was going to ask you that question, so maybe no fair, but
no,
seems like you're doing. I say this because it seems like you're doing well. I don't think we're halfway through the season.
Everybody get a point. Like pretty much every other round now, somebody will get a point. So that's kind of the thing now. So it makes it a little bit easier to score high. I would say that. And to your question, I do want to answer that because you had a total of 29 points.
Okay. All right. Halfway
so
through
we're pretty
the
much
season,
in schedule. So
yeah. Okay.
All right. You were just a solid performer for the wins, and because you only had 2 perfect scores.
Yeah, not unlike the team themselves. Also, the world record for most points ever scored was 29.
That is true.
Okay, so let's get into our predictions for this game against New England. We talked about it. I guess we kind of covered it, right? They're on 4, 5 wins.
4
wins.
That is all.
And okay, and we know how the crew is doing. So with that, let's put out our predictions for the crew this weekend. All right, let's talk about D's.
I don't know. I thought I
You got to think about that.
I'm already sweating.
Man, I don't even know. Like,
Buckle up, Buttercup.
My tongue is sweating.
I'm not good at doing things.
You're dumb.
How did you even get those things?
Let's jump in. Let's start.
What is that?
Okay, so I think Mort. I don't think Mort is reacting to my prediction. I think he's reacting to Ben's. Ben texted me his prediction. He seems sick.
Yes, he's sick.
We'll start with his, and it looks like he did provide some. Typically we would say
Context. Is this his
any
written work?
context? Yeah. So Ben says 2-2 tie, and his description for why is
It's a tie. He has a picture of a tie.
Hold on. He says Porter plus crew equals, necktie emoji, cancer emoji, cancer. It's 69. It's the cancer sign, the zodiac sign. He does that 7 times. I'm not sure why 7. Then a soccer ball. Then
skateboard.
Sorry guys, black background. What is that?
Oh, it's a skateboard. I thought it was one of those
What's the next one?
one of those.
I don't know. It looks like a baton or something.
A baton, a skateboard, a bell, a stock price rising. Then we have a series of boy, love, kiss boy, boy, love, kiss boy, boy, love, kiss boy, boy, love, kiss boy, boy, love, kiss boy. Only 5 times on the boy, love, kiss boy. Then Christian cross emoji. What's that next one?
Wheelchair. Baby sleeping.
Baby.
It's like changing room.
Oh, the word cool and then top hat. Okay. I think we know what that is. All right. We can all hear it, right? You can hear him say, no one should say it. Just you can hear him saying it. You can hear him say it. All right. Okay. Let's move on. Mort, you said 2-2 crew. And you added your text so that I wouldn't have to ask you. Aidan come back with the late goal. Great. I love that. Trey, 1-2. 1-2 true crew.
1-2.
Anything to add?
Cucho with the late comeback goal.
Okay.
Yeah. There we go.
So that means that New England will score first.
No, they'll score second. We'll score first, they'll score second, and then we'll score
Is that
third.
a comeback?
That's a comeback. Yeah.
That's just a winner. Okay, pause. You said 2-3 crew.
Good point.
Yep. New England has scored 2 a few times here in their last handful of games, and I'm hoping we win. So I won up the 2.
Your voice kind of sounds like a car. Like
ring ding 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 ding.
Yeah, you totally had that energy there. I said 1-3 crew, baby.
Anything to add?
All right, guys.
Babay.
Is that it?
No,
it says babay.
Bye-bye.
Babay.
Baby.
Yeah, babay.
Yeah. No, nothing to add. Okay. All right. Well, this is good. So
we shouldn't talk about the future. We should talk about the past.
I don't know what you mean by that. So we did. Let's summarize here. We're gonna get up to 18 games. Unfortunately, everyone else is gonna play another game too. Hey, remind me. I was thinking about this week, and I didn't tell you I was gonna ask this question either. So good luck. The League's Cup games that are coming up in August, are the group stage games? Do those count as table games? Did I make that up?
What do you mean by tables games?
Yeah, what do you mean by table
Like, do they count as league games?
No.
It's completely separate.
Completely separate tournament.
Yeah. I mean, we play in a different league. So.
That makes sense.
Yes.
So did you guys know, I think we talked about it here before. Did you know that the NBA has like an in-season tournament now.
Yes.
And that they do that their group stage games. It's totally modeled after the soccer
that's
format.
not a bad idea, though, actually.
Their group stage games count as regular season games. And you know what I'm probably thinking of? The stinking MLS's back tournament. Those group stage games counted as regular season games. And everyone was in Orlando.
Yep.
NBA and MLS.
Shut out the blue screen.
I still don't know what you're talking about. What was the blue screen?
They had like the blue screen like in the backdrop and stuff, so they could have like They had like ads and stuff in the back. It was weird. Remember COVID when we can go places, had to wear masks and stay indoors? And
I have to tell you, I don't know if it was just because of the profound sorrow that I was feeling with the rest of the world of like being locked down and scared in 2020. I had high hopes for the MLS's back because didn't we start our group stage like winning all 3 games? We came out on top. Later we won the MLS Cup, so maybe it wasn't a complete coincidence, but that we did well against those teams in Orlando. But I don't know. I remember the MLS's Cup. The MLS's
Cup back tournament?
The MLS's back cup fondly. I remember it fondly, even though we lost in PKs to
Orlando.
It was to Minnesota.
No, yeah,
Minnesota.
Which was a foreshadowing to our bombing out of the inaugural Leagues Cup last year as well.
Yep.
So we've walked in a circle. And none of that is related to what's happening this week. We're going to see how we do against Porter in Foxborough. We're going to have to wait to see how we do against him when he comes back to Columbus.
They call it Gillette
not
Stadium
for
now.
landlord purposes of his home that he still owns, but for coaching the Revolution when they come back in September, whenever that game was rescheduled from May. But I think he's going to have a job by then. I think he has earned himself a full season. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Unless they go on another extreme skid.
I don't know. I think
I don't think they won't.
He's given them a glimpse of
we know
what
Porter,
a winning
Porter
could look like.
Porter can win games. We know that.
Yeah.
But we know how, in a way, how toxic in a way it can get when things are getting kind of against him. He gets a little bit defensive.
Listen to episodes 1 through 5 of the Upper 90 Club.
Exactly.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, let's see how it unfolds until next week, which is like in 4 days.
We'll be on signing night tomorrow. At least I will be.
That will be tonight. If you're listening today, it will be tonight.
Yes, it's tonight.
And then before you know it, we'll be in Foxborough. I'll try again. Go Crew.
Go Crew.
Tip of the head, it's Crew time.
I love you.
Thanks, everyone, for joining the club. We hope you'll listen next week and every week, even in the off season, to celebrate or commiserate. We'll save you a seat. If you like this podcast, please give us 5 stars and subscribe. You can email us at upper90clubpod@gmail.com. That's upper90clubpod@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at upper90clubpod. Go Crew!
Right. Kraft's got a scent of that, or a smell of that Irish Porter cheese.
A scent of the cheese.